Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to say Kalama Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim HaKakodash. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone to do rule and teach well. I just want to go through, a topic, about the African Dodger. Let's see. Here, was it this one? There was an Instagram post that I had that was good. Here we go. Right, so it's a little Instagram post, but I'm gonna go to Wikipedia article after. It's gonna get a little bit more in detail. So African Dodger, also known as Hit the Coon or Hit the Nigga Baby, was a violent and racist carnival game in the 19th and earlier century in the United States. Alright, so it's one of the many, atrocities, these so-called white people have perpetuated, against us, man, against our people. Alright, in this case, talk about one of the things that they would do to Judah. Right, so they got, little banner and things like that. Right, it's another one. Right, and you see here, African Dodger. So this one, they replaced it in time because they said that the Jakes were getting too many injuries. So they replaced with this one where, you have a ball, you have a ball, right? The Orioles, the history of African dip, the carnival game where players threw baseballs at black men. Right, so you try to hit the target, like the ball, and then when you hit the button, it releases like that platform underneath them and they fall and dump it to the water. You know what I mean? They made it a sport out of humiliating, and just torturing the hell out of Jake, man. They always did that, going back to, slavery. They did that to Northern Kingdom as well. And the Southern Kingdom, man. Brutal shit. Let's get the Wikipedia article. Alright, so that's why, shouldn't be, Jake is, that's what Jake is just in a fucking fucked up headspace, man. It's Israel homeborn slave, because they still, to this day, trying to, when we go over the scriptures, this girl, white people. We can say, well, what about white people? It's like, man, what about white people? They fucking, don't worry about them, bro. You know what I mean? Fucking worrying about them, bro. They gonna get theirs. You know what I mean? They're always trying to fit in these fucking Edomites, bro. But we know about Israelite foreigners, but they don't know about that. They just trying to do whatever they can to make it about, save everybody. Jake is fucking gone, bro. All right, but let's get into this article because I want to get into some precepts. So African Dodger, Wikipedia, also known as Hit the Coon or Hit the Nigger Baby, was a carnival game played in the United States. In the game, an African American and Judite would stick his head through a curtain, attempt to dodge objects such as eggs or baseballs thrown at him by players. It was a popular carnival game from the 1880s up to the 1960s. The victims often suffered serious injuries. Smaller kit versions of the game were sold to be played at home. All right, so maybe we'll go get that image. So, they had that one. They keep showing the Dodgers. I wonder if that's where the baseball team, the Dodgers, come from. I don't know. That's another topic for another day. I'll look into it maybe. But yeah, see, they had like a version for home. You know what I mean? See, 49¢. You know what I mean? Fucking wicked, bro. 3 balls for $5. You know what I mean? It's the type of shit that they were getting on. Even got it in, it's Donald Duck. They even got little cartoons and shit. It's fucked up. These devils got a lot to pay for, man. Alright, so I'm gonna try to chop up, try to crack on here. Popular Mechanics article from 1910 noted that African Dodger had become too old and commonplace. It was being replaced with dunk tanks, right, which showed African dip, right, in which African Americans would fall into a tank of water when a target was hit with a ball. I guess, some sort of mechanism, allows that to be. I guess once that button's pressed, it just, by some sort of springs or something, looses the platform. The illustration accompanying the article shows a game labeled "Drop the African Drop," and this caption amusing to all but the victim. You know what I mean? And this is where this stuff comes from. Like I remember growing up seeing things like that. I've seen that shit before. You know what I mean? Now that I go into this, just to put it out there, don't be going to Six Flags and saying, "Hey, remember this and that." You gotta move with wisdom. Be wise. Wise as serpents, harmless as doves. You know what I mean? Don't go around yelling this stuff out to people and whatever, man. You try to fucking explain that to Jake's working. They don't fucking understand, bro. People are gone. You know what I mean? Keep it fun. Do your videos. If that's in your spirit to do so. Take out the street corners. That's in your spirit and whatever. You know what I mean? Just let that be that. If they want to listen, if they're hopeful, look, and they want to listen, they're getting it. Great. They don't want to listen. Moving on. Alright, so this is the book of Ezekiel 35:1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, prophesy against it. Seir is another name for America, but back then, Seir was just a place in Edom, like a lot of caves and stuff. But the ancient capital of Edom was Basra, but Basra is also talking about America. You know what I mean? Let me read about that. Was it Thy garments from Basra? Was Isaiah 63? I believe it's Isaiah 63. It's talking about America. This place is, the golden city. It's like the chief city of these Edomites, men. You know what I mean? Everyone wants to come to America. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord power, right? Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I'll stretch out my hand against thee, and I'll make thee most desolate. Right? How's the Lord going to do that? Right? The ICBMs, these missiles, and these chariot laser beams. You know what I mean? It's going to make this place, just like desolate, like a desert. It's never going to be inhabited, like you read about in Revelation 18, Isaiah 13, and Jeremiah 50, and all those, so on and so forth. I lay thy cities waste, thou shalt be desolate. Thou shalt know I am the Lord, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity are men. Right? Because the Lord, let's get this precept right. Zechariah 1:15. And I'm very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease. Right? They're at ease, man. They have the leg up in the society over us. They open up their businesses. You know what I mean? And they're the head and we're the tail. You know what I mean? They treat Jake like shit, so on and so forth. Right? Pharaoh was but a little displeased, but they helped forward the affliction. Those of measure, the Lord put out against us, But these, to the nations, and the Lord put it, start with these Edomites, our enemies. They went above and beyond with the affliction, man. Right? And the Lord put that spirit on them to do so, to judge us. Right? But now it's time for them, to get their judgment. Slovakia. Right? They went too far, right? Fucking like see like these movies and things like that, it's steeped in historical truth, They would sleep with a man's wife, on the wedding day, and then give the woman back to the man. That's fucking wicked, bro. Or, They catch you running away, cut off your ankles, cut off one of your feet, your arms, you know, whoop you damn near to death. You know what I mean? If I mean, I've heard of all kinds of different things. Like I had this book, and I might go into it, I might reread it. The Black Jacobins in Haiti. Man, them Edomites were like blowing Jake up, like gunpowder and shit, like putting gunpowder in their mouth and then lighting it, and then watching them explode. They were doing like wild shit like that. You know what I mean? Wild shit. They gotta pay for it. You know. Therefore, right, and this is an example what I got here, right? You know, kill the nigga baby, African Dodger. Was it the chocolate drop? The chocolate drop. You know, they made sport out of torturing and humiliating, you know, our people, you know. And of course, they did the same thing to another kingdom, you know, fucking brutal, taking their lands away, pushing them to reservations, you know, gunning them down, wounded knee massacres, so on and so forth. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power. I yell about Shemel Shai, he'll prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right? So they're gonna get their get back. Right? They're gonna get their comeuppance. Right? They're gonna get what they deserve, their judgment. Right? America's gonna be, utterly destroyed by ICBMs, World War III. You know what I mean? And you know, these Edomites all over the world, they're gonna get captured and put into slavery. You know what I mean? And after 1,000 years is up, that Obadiah 118 is gonna take place. And good riddance, you know, as it should be. Right, so I'm gonna let that be that. Little one in your F-fight, and I say shalom.